Hey everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 3 team selection. Already made one transfer so far, thinking about another one. We're gonna run through what those thoughts are and who's in the starting lineup for my team. I have a couple things that may change about this, but one key thing to keep in mind this week is basically all the big teams are playing each other. Napoli is getting away with what's supposedly supposed to be an easier fixture, but Parma is playing very well so far. And that's about it. We have Juve playing Roma, Inter facing Atalanta, and Milan facing Lazio. Honestly, I think the big winners right now are those that already have Kvaratskhelia in their team because I think that's an easy captain for this week. And the only other player that I'm considering using my other transfer because I rolled my transfer last week. We'll start in goal. Both my keepers have tough matchups. I mean, I think I just got to go with Filar here. I think Roma just has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet or at least getting more shots against them because Juve is coming out very attacking this season than Suzuki against Napoli. But Suzuki outscored Filar last week. So this could be another mistake if Napoli plays like they did game week 1. Um, Parma's looking good. Suzuki would be the better pick. If Napoli's playing like they played game week 2, well, I wouldn't want Suzuki starting. So it really depends what Napoli shows up on that day. We're going with a 4-3-3 formation with my captaincy in the defense this week with Di Lorenzo, who scored a beautiful goal last game week. Um, I'm not necessarily expecting him to score a goal, but he's basically the only kind of bigger premium player, I guess, in my side that has what I'd say a more desirable fixture. And basically the only one in my team right now that does, aside from Moise Kean, who's playing Monza, but Kean hasn't shown anything to me yet to warrant the hour bid. Along the rest of the back line, we have DeMarco, Teo Hernandez, and my first bring-in for the week, Andrea Cambiaso, who is now in for Danilo. Danilo didn't start 2 games in a row, came in for a 1-pointer, which was really annoying last week. But what was interesting is Cambiaso played in the attacking wing role, kind of like where I guess Chiesa would have been playing before, which, as listed by a defender, he's going to score 6 points per goal or at least be very attacking and have a good chance at attacking returns. I'm happy owning him despite the tough fixture this week, and that's why he's my decision between Sula and Cambiaso right now, and I'm thinking at least Juve will probably keep a clean sheet one of the halves. Now, Cambiaso did come off in the second half last week, so maybe they need to keep that clean sheet in the first half, and he's kind of more like a DeMarco type player who's going to play the first half, be an attacking threat, and then sub off in the second half. That very well may be the case. One thing that does worry me a little bit is the amount of midfield transfers in that Juve has had. Since like either just before the game week started or since the game week started, they've brought in, I think it's Contra, the Portuguese, which I think is a winger, which might be playing in that spot that Cambiaso was, but I don't think Cambiaso is going to be dropped from the team entirely. I think he just might be moved back to the attacking wing back role. And then we also have Nico Gonzalez and Coop Miners, who have brought in for more of the central midfield positions. And that might give Yildiz a run for his money, but Yildiz has played so great so far that I can't see him losing his spot yet. So it'll be interesting to see how these new transfers in will be integrated into the squad. We know that they also have players in the midfield now, more deep lying midfield, but like Thuram's in there as well. But those are, I think, more of their defensive midfield options, whereas Yildiz seems a lot more attacking. Pulisic was the only bright spot kind of in the Milan team last week, as he's the one that scored me the goal. But he's also the one that I would be transferring out if I'm going to get Kvaratskhelia in my team for this week as my second transfer. I just like Pulisic Milan could be the better team in this game. Milan could win 4-0. Pulisic could get 2 attacking returns, but it could just as easily happen the other way with Lazio, especially the way Milan played against Parma last week. But he's really my only way. I have 2.8 in the bank, I think. So he's my only way of moving into Kvaratskhelia this week. And not only is Kvaratskhelia super in form after getting 3 attacking returns last week, Uh, but again, it's getting out a player with a tough fixture in for a player with a good fixture, and I believe Napoli does have a pretty decent fixture in game week 4 as well. I feel it's like Cagliari or something. Um, so I am really considering that move. I think that would be the only move I do without banking. That either transfer and having two going the next week. We have Zaccagni, who should still be on penalties with Lazio, and Castellanos in the attack. Again, at least this way, I'm not worried so much if Milan does score goals, because that's not impacting my Lazio players too much, as I just want a high-scoring game in that game. A nice 5-4 game would be excellent with lots of attacking returns. I mean, hopefully Teo Hernandez gets some attacking returns in that case, or else he might have a negative score by the end of it. I'm not expecting Lautaro Martinez to play this game. It sounds like he's still pretty doubtful. But I'm just gonna have him in there because if he doesn't play, then I'll just get Sula coming in off the bench, and that'll be fine. And then he's my only other pick player with an okay fixture this week, so I am gonna still rock Moise Kean for a bit. And then if he's still not doing anything, I think I might have two transfers where I can upgrade one of my attackers, probably Moise Kean, or I could kind of get rid of both because if Lautaro Martinez is consistently not playing, there's no point of having him for 12 mil. One thing to keep in mind though is if he doesn't play this game week, there's a full week where he probably won't be playing. I mean, maybe he'll go back and play for Argentina over the international break, but at least there's extra time for him to rest and be ready for when Serie A comes back. I think it's like the 15th of September or something, or 14th. But I think unless he can show me something against Monza, there are other cheap strikers that are looking good right now. Like I would love to get in like a Retegui striker or something like that. Or with the funds that I have, if I were to downgrade Martinez at the same time, I could get in a Vlahovic because Juve looks to be flying right now. So those are the ideas I'm flirting with. It's a shame because originally I brought in Bellanueva for the sakes I knew I was going to be benching him for the first couple games, for the sake of this game week, because Torino doesn't have as challenging of a game week. They're facing Venezia, so I thought that that was a great player that I could be subbing into my squad this week. But with his transfer to Atalanta and he hasn't played in the team yet, they're also facing Inter this week, so whether he plays or not, I wasn't planning on starting him. But it's just a shame that I don't have that fixture anymore. So the only this Pulisic to Kvaratskhelia, I think I'm upgrading as a player and I'm upgrading as a fixture, which is why it is very tempting to do right now. But yeah, this is how the team's looking. So obviously any changes will be posted on the Twitter account. Let me know what you're doing in this hectic game week. I strongly suggest not using the wild card. It's transfer season's not done. We have an international break where a lot of injuries could happen coming up as well. And I'm almost certain there will be double and blank game weeks later in the season. So I highly recommend saving your wild card unless you've used it already. I think that'll be a little unfortunate. It might be beneficial for the short-term early game, but I think long-term that could come back to bite you. Anyway, this is my team. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 600 subscribers, which is crazy. So I'd love to get to there. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Take care. I'll see you soon.